Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dialoguing English.
The podcast where English is simple, practical, and sometimes unexpectedly funny.
Here we learn English through real situations, real emotions, and stories that feel familiar.
Because learning English shouldn't feel like a test. It should feel like life happening, just in another language.
And today's episode is one of the most relatable situations possible.
We are going to the supermarket.
The place where you plan to buy 5 things and somehow leave with 15.
The place where hunger makes terrible financial decisions.
And where simple conversations suddenly feel intimidating when they happen in English.
Especially when you can't find something and start pretending you're just exploring.
That slow walk through the aisles pretending everything is under control.
While internally you are absolutely lost.
Today, we are going to walk through that experience together.
Asking for help, comparing prices, making small talk, dealing with checkout, and surviving self-checkout machines.
And, of course, laughing at the small awkward moments that always happen.
Because supermarkets are quiet, emotional adventures.
So take a deep breath, imagine automatic doors opening,
The cool air hitting your face,
the soft background music.
and the sudden realization that you forgot your shopping list.
That moment hurts a little.
It hurts a lot.
James, be honest. Do you like grocery shopping?
I like the idea of grocery shopping. The reality is more chaotic.
That sounds suspiciously honest.
If I go shopping after eating, I'm calm and logical. If I go shopping hungry, I become a completely different person.
Hungry shopping is emotional shopping.
Exactly. Suddenly, snacks feel like survival tools.
I once went to buy vegetables and left with cookies, ice cream, and absolutely no vegetables.
That's not a mistake, that's a lifestyle.
It felt like the supermarket convinced me that future Sophia would be very grateful.
Future James is often confused by past James.
That's a deep supermarket philosophy.
Thank you. I developed it in the snack aisle.
All right, imagine we just entered the supermarket. What's the first thing you usually do?
I grab a cart and immediately question whether I actually needed one.
Because the cart makes you buy more.
Exactly. The empty cart feels like an invitation.
I prefer baskets, but they eventually become heavy and emotionally exhausting.
That moment when your arm starts hurting but you refuse to get a cart because you've already committed.
Pride is expensive.
Very expensive.
Let's say you need milk, but you can't find it. What happens next?
I walk confidently in the wrong direction for a few minutes.
Confidence without accuracy.
A powerful combination.
Eventually, you realize you need to ask someone.
That moment of hesitation is real. You know the sentence is simple, but your brain suddenly forgets everything.
But once you say, "Excuse me, where can I find the milk?" the tension disappears.
And the employee answers calmly, like it was the easiest question in the world.
Because it is.
The fear exists only before speaking.
That applies to English and many things in life.
Small courage creates big confidence.
And after one successful interaction, the supermarket feels less intimidating.
You start walking with more comfort and curiosity.
Until you reach the price comparison zone.
The moment your brain becomes an investigator.
3 brands, different prices, different sizes, confusing promotions.
And suddenly you are doing mental math in another language.
That is advanced supermarket survival.
I always feel like supermarkets are designed to confuse you just enough to make you stay longer.
The longer you stay, the more likely you are to buy something you never planned to buy.
Exactly. It starts with comparing cereal prices and somehow ends with holding a chocolate bar you don't even remember picking up.
And you stand there asking yourself, when did this happen?
The answer is always emotional weakness.
I once spent 5 minutes comparing 2 identical products just because one had a yellow discount label.
The power of a small, colorful sticker is incredible.
It creates urgency even when there is no real urgency.
That's why asking questions helps. Saying, "Excuse me, is this on sale?" removes the guessing game.
And employees are usually very helpful when you ask politely.
The polite tone changes everything. Even simple sentences sound confident when spoken calmly.
After that, I usually move to the fresh food section, which is emotionally dangerous.
Fruits and vegetables look so healthy and optimistic.
You suddenly feel like a person who drinks smoothies every morning.
For about 20 seconds.
Then you remember reality.
Still, the fruit section is interesting because people interact more there. They smell fruit, gently squeeze avocados, and silently judge tomatoes.
There is something almost social about choosing fresh food.
And sometimes you need to ask questions like, "Are these fresh?" or "When were these delivered?"
Even if the answer is predictable, the interaction builds confidence.
Exactly. English becomes part of the experience, not an obstacle.
Have you ever spent too long choosing one avocado?
That is a very emotional commitment. You want the perfect balance between soft and firm, and somehow every avocado feels suspicious.
I once picked one that looked perfect, and it betrayed me later.
Avocado betrayal is a real emotional event.
It feels personal.
After fresh food, we usually enter the most dangerous area,
The snack aisle.
where discipline disappears and imagination begins.
Snacks are persuasive in every language.
And the packaging speaks directly to your emotions.
That's when I start negotiating with myself. I deserve this, or it's been a long day.
Emotional justification is very creative.
Do you talk to yourself while shopping?
Not out loud, but internally there's a full conversation happening.
Same. It feels like a debate between responsible me and happy me.
Happy me often wins.
Understandable.
Let's talk about asking for specific products. Sometimes you need something unusual and don't know the exact word.
That's when describing helps. Saying, I'm looking for a sauce used for pasta is better than staying silent.
Communication doesn't require perfect vocabulary, only willingness.
And employees often understand faster than we expect.
Because they're used to helping people explain things imperfectly.
That realization removes a lot of pressure.
It reminds you that English conversations are cooperative, not tests.
That is such an important mindset shift.
Now, imagine you found most items and your cart is slowly filling.
That quiet moment when you realize you might have bought more than planned.
The cart becomes a visual representation of your decisions,
Some logical, some emotional.
mostly emotional.
At this point, I start mentally calculating the total price and feeling slightly nervous,
Checkout anxiety is universal,
especially when you're not completely sure how much everything costs.
but checkout is also the best place to practice small, natural conversations.
The cashier might ask, "Did you find everything you were looking for?"
A simple question that opens a real interaction.
You can answer honestly, and sometimes it leads to unexpected friendliness.
Small conversations create big comfort.
And then comes payment, which feels simple but still creates small tension in another language.
Saying, "Can I pay by card?" feels basic, but the confidence comes from repetition.
The more you say it, the less you think about it.
That's the real goal. Automatic comfort.
And then the cashier asks if you need a bag.
A small question that somehow feels like a moral decision.
Yes, because you start thinking about the environment, your arms, and your ability to carry everything.
I always overestimate my ability to carry groceries without a bag.
That is optimism, not strategy.
True.
Now let's talk about self-checkout machines.
The silent judges of our grocery skills.
Self-checkout feels like a game where the machine is waiting for you to make a mistake.
And when it says unexpected item in the bagging area, your confidence disappears immediately.
That robotic voice carries emotional power.
I once froze completely because I didn't know what I did wrong.
and other people were waiting behind you.
That added pressure makes everything feel dramatic.
But even that moment can become a learning experience. You can ask for help and use simple sentences.
"Excuse me, could you help me?" is enough.
And usually the employee fixes the issue in seconds.
Which reminds you that the stress existed mostly in your mind.
That realization happens often when learning a language. You know what's funny? Most stressful supermarket moments last only a few seconds, but they feel much longer in our minds.
That's because uncertainty stretches time. When you're unsure about what to say or do, even a small pause feels dramatic.
I remember one time I couldn't find the yogurt section, and instead of asking, I just kept walking in circles pretending I was browsing.
The classic "I totally know what I'm doing" performance.
Exactly. I was committed to the role.
Did anyone believe you?
Absolutely not. I looked lost, confused, and slightly desperate.
The funny thing is that asking for help would have solved everything in 10 seconds.
That's always the lesson, isn't it? The fear of asking is usually worse than the situation itself.
And every time you overcome that fear, your confidence grows quietly.
I like that, confidence growing quietly. It's not a dramatic transformation, it's small moments stacking together.
Supermarkets are perfect for that kind of growth because the conversations are short, real, and low pressure.
Plus, people are generally patient. Everyone understands that grocery shopping already requires mental energy.
Especially when you're tired after a long day.
That's when decision fatigue appears. You stare at shelves and suddenly even choosing pasta feels complicated.
Too many options can be surprisingly exhausting.
Have you ever stood in front of a shelf and completely forgotten what you needed?
Many times, I look at the products hoping my memory will magically return.
And sometimes it doesn't.
That's when improvisation begins.
Improvisation is a useful life skill.
And a useful language skill, too. You learn to describe, substitute, and adapt,
Instead of the exact product, you ask for something similar.
which keeps the conversation moving and removes pressure.
One of my favorite unexpected supermarket moments is when strangers help each other.
Yes, those small acts of kindness feel very human.
Someone reaching an item from a high shelf, or recommending a product they like.
Those interactions are simple but warm.
And they remind you that communication is more about connection than perfect grammar.
That idea changes everything for language learners.
Because perfection creates fear, but connection creates motivation.
That's beautifully said.
Thank you. I think supermarkets are full of tiny human stories that we usually ignore.
Like the tired parent shopping late at night, the student calculating prices carefully, or the person cooking something special for someone they love.
Food is emotional, and shopping for food carries that emotion too.
That's why even a simple trip can feel meaningful.
Speaking of emotional moments, have you ever realized you forgot one important item after arriving home?
That moment of realization feels like betrayal.
You open the fridge and suddenly remember the one thing you needed most.
And it's not there.
Then comes the internal debate. Go back to the store or live without it.
Sometimes laziness wins.
Sometimes necessity wins.
Either way, it becomes a story you laugh about later.
I once forgot coffee.
That's not just forgetting an item, that's a crisis.
Exactly. I went back immediately.
That shows commitment.
Coffee is emotional stability.
I respect that.
Another interesting moment is when you try a new product and feel unsure about it.
Curiosity mixed with doubt.
You read the label carefully, trying to understand ingredients in English.
That's actually great vocabulary practice.
Yes, because it's contextual and meaningful.
Learning words connected to flavors and ingredients feels more natural than memorizing random lists.
And when you finally cook with those ingredients, the words become part of your memory.
Real-life repetition is the strongest teacher.
I think that's why everyday environments are powerful classrooms.
Because they remove artificial pressure and replace it with real motivation.
Motivation driven by hunger is very effective.
Hunger is an excellent teacher.
Now let's talk about the emotional relief of finishing shopping.
That quiet satisfaction when everything is paid and packed.
You leave the store feeling accomplished, even if it was a simple task.
Small accomplishments build self-trust.
And self-trust reduces anxiety the next time you face the same situation.
That's how confidence grows naturally.
The first time feels uncomfortable, the second feels manageable, and eventually it feels normal.
That progression is beautiful to witness in language learning.
Especially when you suddenly realize you're speaking without translating in your head.
That moment feels like freedom.
It does.
Walking home with groceries also creates a reflective mood.
Yes, there's something peaceful about carrying bags and mentally reviewing the experience.
You replay conversations and realize they were easier than expected.
And that realization motivates you to keep practicing,
Progress often hides in ordinary moments.
which is comforting because it means improvement is happening even when you don't notice it immediately.
That's the quiet magic of consistency.
I love that phrase, quiet magic.
Language learning is full of quiet magic.
And supermarkets, surprisingly, are part of it.
Who would have thought grocery shopping could become a confidence-building exercise?
Life has creative ways of teaching us.
It does.
Before we finish, I want to talk about one more emotional supermarket moment, cooking after shopping.
Turning groceries into a meal feels rewarding.
Especially when you remember the conversations you had while buying those ingredients.
The food becomes connected to the experience.
And suddenly, the supermarket is not just a place, but part of a story.
Your story of learning, growing, and becoming more comfortable.
That perspective makes ordinary places feel meaningful,
And meaningful experiences are easier to remember.
which helps language stick naturally.
Exactly.
So, next time you go shopping, don't see it as a stressful task.
See it as an opportunity to interact, explore, and practice gently.
Allow mistakes to exist without drama,
And allow small successes to feel important.
because they are.
They truly are.
And remember, nobody expects perfection from you.
People respond much more to kindness and effort than flawless grammar.
That truth removes so much pressure.
It really does.
I feel like today's episode was not just about supermarket English,
It was about confidence hidden inside daily routines,
and about learning to enjoy imperfect conversations.
which are the most human conversations.
Exactly.
All right, I think it's time to slowly wrap up our supermarket journey.
Yes, we walked through confusion, laughter, small fears, and quiet victories.
Just like a real shopping trip.
If you followed this conversation, you are already building confidence.
Even if you didn't understand every word, the exposure matters.
Understanding grows with repetition, patience, and kindness towards yourself.
Especially kindness.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
We hope this episode made English feel lighter, more practical, and maybe even fun.
Try using one small phrase next time you shop.
One phrase is enough to start momentum.
And momentum creates confidence.
We'll see you in the next episode of Dialoguing English.
Take care, enjoy your shopping, and be gentle with your learning process.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.